cosmic energetic update. So this is for females, a specific group. So if you're not resonating with the messages in this video, then it's probably not for you, but I have a lot of information for a very certain group of feminine energy, the feminine polarity, for the time frame August, September, October, November, and also it feels like through into December. So I'm going to cover a little bit about the 8-8 gateway, which I have already made a video on. And also the spring equinox. I will do a separate video for the spring equinox. It feels very, very like a brand new energy coming upon us with a very big theme that will start integrating over the next 3 years. So, yeah, okay, so there's been a build-up. What is culminating now and what you're probably feeling the pressure of and you've been aware of it, has been culminating from way back as January. The energy lines have been culminating. You've felt pressure. There's probably been a lot of conflict with relationships in your life. A feeling of being very downtrodden and not being supported with all you've come here to be. It's been a very, very trying 3 years for a lot of feminine energies, especially if you have been what I would say holding the energetic fort for the return of the divine feminine, or working with the feminine essence or energy and working with balancing your masculine and feminine, or you've been doing some cosmic work. A lot of tiredness, there's been a lot of challenge, a lot of exhaustion over the same energy repeating itself over and over again, and just wanting to put things behind you, but you can't move on. Cosmos hasn't opened up for you to move on yet, and you feel stuck, not being able to move, really unhappy, and it's sort of like the same energy is being recycled over and over, and it's like the same situations repeating over and over. And sometimes, especially for this group of energy that is resonant with this video, we have just had to wait the planetary movement, and sometimes we cannot manifest the new beginnings or the new jobs or the relationships that we want, because it's literally not time in cosmos or planetary movements. And a lot of us have had to wait for planetary shifts so we can move into new creation cycle energies, which is there's the turn of the matriarch, the new creation cycle upon us. And that's a whole planetary shift, and a lot of us have been kept in a holding ground, or what I call like a holding bubble, for quite a while, working out lots of energies so we can be clean and fresh to move into the new cycle energies that are coming through in the next few months. Thank gosh. Yes, little to no natural abundance, feeling really, really unsupported, thwarted, bullied, put down, a lot of that victim perpetrator stuff. I'm specifically talking to a bunch of feminine energy that has a lot of intuitive gifts and abilities to share with others, but it's been really, really hard to get yourself off the ground, or you're worked really, really hard and thought you've made ground, but then you've been pulled back again into the same position that you were, and nothing was allowing you to move forward. And what feels like for like this year specifically, and then the next few months, it's almost like an overlay. Maybe you could have felt the new stuff, and you would have seen synchronicities and dreams and visions of the stuff that was getting ready for you, and maybe it hasn't arrived yet. Maybe you've been feeling like for years you've been having visions and insights of stuff that's really amazing, and it hasn't arrived. And what's happened is that there's like two very different energetic lines. It's like they're not quite connected yet, and you're probably picking up on the height. I don't like using timelines, I'm just going to say energy line, but you've had to finish off and stay on this lower one until it's been time in the planetary shifts to align and hop onto this new one and leave the old one behind. Yes, so energy has had to finish off in the old line things like karma, a little bit of karma, relationships that have to work themselves out at a very specific time, and it's felt very slow and very dense, and like you've tried your best to be positive, but it's been really, really difficult, and the emotions have been really heavy. Very little natural thriving energy. You've had to watch others who are not coming from their hearts, quote unquote, thrive and succeed, even though you knew they were not coming from their hearts. But don't be fooled, because the new energy that's coming online in the next few months, if you want to be sustainable and abundant and have longevity to your business and what you are creating, whatever it is, it must come from your heart and soul essence, and from love and support for others and for yourself, and help others and help yourself, enhance, inspire, with your own natural gifts and abilities, and that is what is going to make you sustainable and thriving and have longevity to your whatever you are creating now. It's just not going to cut it coming from very egoic energies when it comes to business. And as this divine feminine influx comes in on the 8-8 gateway and also the spring equinox, the divine feminine wants truth and honesty for us now, and she is not going to tolerate anything other than supporting those ones that are very true in their hearts and souls. So we're also going to have an end, and this has been building up for the last year, an end of egoic spirituality, and a collapse of old world guru energies, and the mentality of using ego spiritual pursuits to create hierarchy and a false sense of power. So that will be coming to an end. That has been building up, but usually, as we all know, there are energies build up and then they culminate. And it seems from the August to October, November is like a culminative of energy, of collapsing energy of old world archetypal structures. So it's just not going to cut it anymore if you are coming from your ego when it comes to spirituality. We're really wanting the heart. And we're really wanting the truth and honesty of everything now. So if you are resonating with what I'm saying and you've had a really, really hard time the past 2 years, and this year you thought things were going to change, they haven't. Doors will be opening that were previously cosmic doors opening that were previously closed. So keep an eye on your dream time and your visions. Energy is starting to shift. And almost like being locked out of the world you know you want to be a part of, but you've had to stay in one until it's been time for that cosmic door to be unlocked. Things ending in physical very abruptly, but again, this energy has been building up. It may feel abrupt, but it's not. It's been building and building and building. And what have we got here? Can't continue. It can't continue anymore. So, and we're wanting to be aligned to new and more supportive energies for our being, for our life purpose, for our natural gifts and abilities, and supportive energy in living situations and jobs and natural abundance that we know we can cultivate. And maybe we've been very very off-put by I guess a lot of those manifestation things that are out there, because a lot of them feels to be coming from a very egoic place. And manifestation also will be starting to change, and it'll be more so about the truth of your heart and your higher self and creativity, and generating that energetically in your physical vessel. So it takes time for energy lines to finish, and a lot of us have had to be very, very patient and wait for the collapse, had to be really, really patient with this. We probably would have experienced a lot of victim perpetrator this last year, and just being really, really tired of it, and being like, how do I get out of this? I'm so sick of this energy. And you maybe didn't have the finances to move, stuff happened, you got blocked, you're really unhappy but couldn't do anything about it. So just a lot of victim perpetrator imbalanced connections with also other feminine energy becoming more balanced now. So we want a release of energetic ties to this is very specific, release of energetic ties to other feminine energy that is really, really unsupported to us, and maybe that we're being tied into. It's very old world, and we can be released from a little bit of toxicity that sort of couldn't quite let go of. It feels very, very collective. And building up to the feminine and creativity and leading into the equinox with change. Very quickly too. Very, very quickly with that. And also, yeah, being allowed to begin projects. Okay, so I'm feeling March. So March with businesses, if you have been working away on a business, or you have been struggling with a business, or you haven't had the physical support or the finances to begin your business, or it's just been really slow, you could see September, October, November, March next year. Is that the equinox again? Solstice? Equinox. Having your projects solidified. It feels very clean. And this is again only for a certain group of energy, that feminine energy that I'm reading for. And maybe your projects and your businesses have taken years to develop, and you've just been like working away behind the scenes for years and years and years, and you've gotten really frustrated that you haven't gotten anywhere. And there is going to be a release of energy around that equinox, and maybe you could all of a sudden be like, oh, I understand now a lot of that. Oh, I understand why I couldn't move forward, or I understand now why that happened when it did. Lots of insights and epiphanies around why things were kept the way they were for you. And we also have an influx. I'm really feeling Grecian energy and like celebratory spring equinox energy with like Aphrodite themed, the divine feminine influx. And so what have I got here? She wants us to be supported with our heartfelt endeavors to serve and support others around us with our natural love, gifts, and abilities. And those gifts and abilities are so unique to each and every one of us. But if you really, really, really struggled the past few years, know that it hasn't been without strife, and Cosmos has seen you. Cosmos knows what's going on, and you will be supported if you've stayed in your heart and your essence. So a release from living situations and relationships that have run their course, like the energy line has run dry, that will dry up and finish off. There may be a little bit of turbulence and collapse. It's really, really important to have grace with the masculine if you are in that type of situation or relationship. It seems to me that our masculine collapses are on the verge emotionally, and men too need to be realigned to relationships that are more harmonious to them, and to be set free from ties that are no longer serving their evolution. So yes, be patient and allow the endings and resolutions to take place. And as we move, we are moving into more harmony. So a moving into different living situations, moving into different living areas, moving by March for many of us. And you'll be in a new place by March, or just you may go in between places until March or something like that. There's definitely a lot of movement happening. I'm just feeling like I'm seeing like lots of little puzzle pieces being moved around, and Cosmos moving things into fit properly now, instead of just being like trying to fit two pieces together that won't work. getting ready for a new relationship with the masculine and masculine energy that's more in alignment with us. So if you've been in family dynamics or situations, there's a lot of masculine, feminine stuff balancing and clearing out. It will be over the next few months. And also the divine feminine and us women, we are leading the charge with the divine feminine, and then with the spring equinox, we are leading the charge here. This is maybe why we've had to be set in place and haven't been able to move. Also, old insecurities and doubts leaving us as we move into higher energies. And we want no more competition with other females, and connections that have been really hard and really imbalanced and a little bit nasty, they will be leaving. If they've really been in your face, or just it's like the same energy being repeating, we don't want that anymore. So wanting to align with feminine energy that supports and enhances our own unique feminine expression. Also karmic ties finishing once and for all. So if you've been aware that there's been some relationships, or you're finishing off some old world energy so you can move into the new, it is coming to an end and it is culminating. Be very graceful and discernful with conflict, ending of relationships, and allow others their journey and expressions. Okay, so that is all I have got for, the August, September, October, November, feeling December as well. I will also be putting up, I think a lot of us have been waiting a very long time for this, and look back at the journey that you've been through up until now, and how you've matured and grown some structures in your gardens and your inner gardens, your womb, what you've already cultivated. Bless all the things that have taught you things. And I will be putting up a spring equinox video that feels very art revolutionary for the next 3 years. So thank you. And also I will be doing a very general energy update that you can purchase, a PDF, and that will have certain dates to be aware of and things to be mindful of, and how to support yourself through the next 4 months. So thank you very much, and yes, enjoy the changes that are coming in for us. So I'm just adding an extra clip in for this feminine essence reading, is that as this collapse comes in, that also means that others around us are now also going to go down, not down, but just collapse into learning lessons now, and they too will be going, a lot of souls around us will be going through a dark night of the soul for the next 3 years. And there'll be a lot more balance here now on the earth for souls who have maybe for lifetimes been working for the light and been very, very attacked, or for want of a better word. And as that balance comes through now, more light comes onto the earth. That means a lot of souls, families and dynamics are collapsing, and hierarchical family structures, relationships, and as such. And a lot of souls are going to start going through a dark night of the soul, or already have been, or it's culminating for them. And it's really important, so as you come more into balance here on the earth and others around you go into more darkness, it is not for us to judge another's soul journey. And there's a lot of discernment. I'm actually going to do a video on that. A lot of discernment needing to be had now with souls who are going to go through their dark journey into more light. And that is not for us to interfere any longer, to save or interfere in someone else's journey or dark night of the soul, as we know we have already had ours. So as things collapse, you'll most definitely see other people collapsing around you as you move into more sustainable and supportive energies. And that doesn't mean that we're better than or any less than. It just means that things are balancing out on the world now, on the earth. And we are, cosmos is opening up, and we are giving new and more opportunities for many of us that have been waiting for this time for a very long time. So please be graceful and discern with others around you, and to use your own wisdom and intuitive guidance in navigating conflict or perceived when others go through their upheaval. As we know, upheaval is needed in the external for people to start awakening and moving into more light. So I just thought I would add that really quickly. As soon as I watched the video, I was like, I need to add that in, because as others move up, others will be going into their dark night of the soul. So yes, enjoy, and yes, waiting for the spring equinox, so it should be good.